I don't do too many tool reviews, but if I do come across a tool that I think will better help me out in my field, which is obviously HVAC, I'll do a review on it. I like Klein stuff more than a little bit of everybody else's, only just because Klein kind of thinks outside the box a bit when it comes to specialty tools or hand tools for the trade, whether that's, you know, electrical work, plumbing, carpentry, HVAC, whatnot. And they came out with this tool, which I didn't know was even out. It's still kind of new. And I randomly came across a YouTube channel, Morgan's Maintenance, and I seen he did a review on it. And from there, I just went and located where it would be nearest to me at a Home Depot, because this is like where you can only pick it up. I'll look and see if there's an Amazon link, but I don't think there is. So you'd have to get it from Home Depot or order it through Home Depot, or probably on eBay. So I looked, and only one Home Depot out of within Orange County and the Inland Empire had these in stock. I apologize for the noise. I'm up on a roof right now. Anyways, so they actually had two in stock. So I went over there and picked it up. It was in Costa Mesa. And so I got it now. And I want to test it out and see if it's something that I would like to use a lot. May I get another one and put it in my bag, and it'd replace other tools, because now this would just become a multi-tool in itself, replacing other hand tools, nut driver, and multi other screwdrivers, because you can use bits, which I'll get to in a minute. So these are impact rated sockets, nut driver sizes, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 11/32, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch. Now for a home in your house use, you know, I don't think you would get very much out of this. I mean, most of the time you're going to be using slotted bit, Phillips. Not really, you need nut drivers, maybe some mechanical work, you'll probably be using this. But for HVAC, 1/4 inch, 5/16 is your home run sizes that we mainly use, especially residential. Furnaces, condensers. It's gonna be your 1/4 inch, 5/16. Step up to the commercial side, you're gonna see some 11/32. You're gonna see a lot of 3/8, and you're gonna see a lot of 1/2 inch, 7/16. Nope, 9/16. Yes, like this exhaust fan right here. There's bolts up there on the top. Those are 9/16 nuts. And then there's some fasteners over here, which I'll get to real quick. Those are 3/8. But doing residential HVAC work, this is pretty much all you're going to really need. 1/4 inch, 5/16 nut driver. Now this, it's got a magnet in there, so it'll hold the bit. That's another thing that I don't like about using a multi screwdriver, is you got your sizes here, 1/4 inch, what are these, 3/8? Yeah, because here's your 5/16. When you go to screw in a nut, fastener, whatnot, self-tapper, sheet metal screws, there's no magnet, there's nothing here. It's gonna fall out. So you have to kind of hold it in there, and it just sucks after a while doing it that way. But this guy, it's a little different. So on here, 7-in-1. So you got your sizes, and right here, that's a little like symbol for basically a tip. That's a Phillips tip. Basically, there's a line right here, and you pitch your 1/4-inch side down to about that line. It'll lock. What you do is grab a bit. Now you can use the bit, and it's going to be locked in place. It's not going to fall out. So now you got a pretty versatile tool here. For me, I don't really like using small bits like this because, for instance, on a Phillips, I feel like, or on a flathead, sometimes I'll be screwing in a fastener and I go and it grips too much. I feel like sometimes it just pulls the bit out. This magnet on here is pretty strong, but I just rather go and just use a straight screwdriver or flathead, because sometimes, especially like with the flathead, I'll use it like a pry bar. If a control panel is like stuck, I'll use it like a pry bar and open it. If you use a single bit like that, the bit's gonna fall out. So that's why I kind of don't like using individual bits. But in the case if you do need it and you have a set with you, I mean, sky's the limit. You can put whatever in here and it's gonna work. Now, this comes out. These are impact rated. That's another thing I like about this. It's impact rated. So that means you can put it on an impact drill. This is not impact rated. It's only for hand torque. This is pretty soft metal. This would not be able to handle any type of impact rating. So these guys are impact rated. Now the thing about the Malco bits, yes, I do like those a lot as well, but I feel like the metal is a bit soft, and after a while you'll start to see it's starting to basically wear down, and it doesn't really grip the fastener that well. I don't know if just if it's not really impact rated, but I mean, that's what they're for. I feel like the Klein material here is a little bit more stout, but I mean, we'll see. To me, it's gonna come down to the user, depending on how you're handling the tool. Every tool's got its limit. So if you're constantly using this on an impact all the time, I mean, don't expect this thing to last forever. It's gonna wear down. But if you're switching off, hand torquing, and using it on the impact, it should last a while. So I hope in the future, though, Klein will sell bits. These bits in a pack or separate, because if I lose one of these bits, then this tool almost becomes useless, because now I can't use that size, especially a 1/4 inch 5/16 if you're mainly using that. You lose this guy, and then you got to buy the whole tool again. So if they sold it in separate bits, you could just buy the bit by itself. That's what makes the Malco great, is they're everywhere. You just buy them individually, and you can swap the heads if you got spare. No, you got to buy the whole tool. You don't just buy these separate. You can see it was on the drill. So if you would go and take these out like I was saying, and you lose them because you just throw them on the ground, now you're stuck with this, basically back to like a Malco bit. Now what I think Klein should have did was had this pop out for bits to make this more of a universal tool than just a 7-in-1 with these sizes. For instance, this guy right here. Look at all that. There's enough space in here to do this. They should have done that. That would have made this tool more, to me, more open for as far as what you could do with it, instead of now I got to use my other tools to go and do whatever to make this a super tool. They should have did that. I mean, maybe in the future they'll make it a ratchet too with this. Don't know, but I'm just saying they should have came out with this tool already, with this in the back like that. And Klein makes something like this, which is an it's shit. Is it an Hvac 8-in-1? I think that's what it's called. And it comes with the 5/16 and 1/4 inch top. Flip around. Like I got the Schrader core bit in here, and then you got a little tap bit. So I kind of customized this one a little bit. I just swapped bits and put it into where I was going to use it. So for instance, for me, if I would get all my bits that I need and swap it for whatever ones in here I don't need, now you got yourself an ultimate dedicated HVAC tool with that would replace multiple tools and clear some space in the bag. Like if you're carrying a Vito TP4B, the small open tote bag, this would replace a bunch of screwdrivers. You wouldn't have to try to get a bigger bag because now you have this with a bunch of bits. So I think that's what Klein should have done, but whatever. Someone might say, oh, well, this is longer reach than this. True, but take this guy out like that, take these out, make this more narrow. This bit is actually a little bit more narrow than the Malco. Actually, I have a bit right now I'll show, but to my point, get an extension. Now look what you got. Boom. Boom. Look at that. This thing is very versatile. Very. Let me grab a... I got 2 bits here to talk about. Gotta hurry up. Let's see. Where you at? Where you at? Oh, come on, guy. Alright, here we go. So here's the Klein. Here's the Malco. This one's a little bit more narrow. It's not as thick as this one. Look at the 1/4 inch. So more narrow it is. Better for tighter spots. That's the one thing I don't like about the Malco 5/16 to 3/8. The thing is just, it's like having a goddamn socket on there. It's just too thick. If you're doing stuff that's just right in front of you out in the open, okay, but if you're trying to get somewhere where it's tight, it's not gonna work. It's just way too thick. I've been using the DeWalt flip for a while. So far it's been holding up pretty good. The magnet's really strong on this. Most of the time I'm grabbing for this too, because I like also that the 1/4 inch is a little bit thinner. That's just my personal preference. Say on this too, you could go that's not one. I think you can use it like that, but you could just take this bit out and then put it in there, and then you'll have a Phillips. Or I could just use a single bit. This. I usually just carry that stuff in my pockets, just in case some other idiot doesn't have any bits. I got them on. All right, enough chit chats. Gonna hit this tool. I show a little bit of versatile on. I gotta change out a condenser fan on this McQuay unit. I'm gonna be utilizing 1/4 inch, 3/8, and a 1/2 inch just on this one tool. So let me show you how it's done. All right, so I gotta take this top off to get to the fan motor here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 3/8 fasteners. Now instead of doing this by hand, taking my sweet time, these are impact rated, like we mentioned. Now I got the 4 out down in the motor to get to the electrical for your connections. That's going to be 1/4 inch. I'll have to switch to the 1/4 inch. There's actually a bracket that holds the motor right here. There's 2 bolts to loosen that, so you can pull the motor up out of the bracket basket. That's 1/2 inch, so I'll swap to the 1/2 inch. Put the drill on one end, put a wrench on the other to loosen it. So right there I already utilized 3/8, 1/4 inch, and a 1/2 inch. I'll show you when I use the 1/2 inch to do those, loosen those bolts, and then I'll show the 1/4 inch for the plate on the motor. Okay, now I'm gonna loosen the bolts for this basket to pull the motor out. I already got my 1/2 inch swapped on there. I hope I have the camera at the right angle, that way you can see. So we got it on there on the back bolt. Hold on to the nut. I gotta do the bottom. There we go. Alright. I noticed that the magnet was sticking really good onto those bolts down there. So I like that a lot. Strong magnet. So I got those loose. I'm gonna pull this motor out. And then here's your 1/4 inch to get to your connections there. No. Use the tool, take that off and show you. Okay, I got the motor propped up. I'm gonna loosen screws with a 1/4 inch. One. Here's our ground. Another 1/4 inch screw. And that's it. Now I'm gonna take these off, put the new motor on, OEM, button it in, good to go. And I'll show real quick what we use the 11/32 on. That way you get an idea of what we're using that size for as well. I'm going to show you what we use the 11/32 size for HVAC. So on some motor, basically locking nuts that mount to the top of the cage or the shroud or protector, whatever you want to call it. These nuts are 11/32. Every motor is going to be a little different, but I noticed Carrier is pretty solid on the 11/32 size. And then you'll have like Train here. Theirs is going to be 5/16. But so instead of just having that off size laying around, this screwdriver here, or 7-in-1, comes with 11/32 on here, and they fit right over. Sometimes you might see that the threads are a little high, so you can adjust this just a little bit. And it'll lock right in. And you can obviously do it by hand, or you can put, since these are impact rated, like I showed, you could put this on a impact gun. Would not recommend using that on here. You'll end up breaking these bolts. I mean, if you're changing out the motor, who cares? You're just gonna snap them off anyways. But on a new motor, you're gonna want to just snug them with your hand instead of using impact. But on some of the motor stud kits, it comes with the 11/32 nuts as well. So this bit would definitely come in handy for that use. So most of these sizes on here are definitely sizes for HVAC. I would like to see, instead of the 7/16 and 9/16, but because I do not use that, I don't think I've ever used 7/16. It's always usually 9/16. So pretty much everything other than the 7/16 we'd be using often on HVAC equipment. Now, my only cons, I should say, for this is that, you know, it didn't come with the option to have the extra bits, so you could put at the top here. That and being able to buy these separate. I've seen that you can buy just the basically this, the your main center chuck with all the sizes. I see that you could buy that separate, but if I lose one bit, I gotta buy all new ones again. And then, you know, though with the Malcos, you know, it's just a 5/16 1/4 inch. You lose one, just buy another one. It's not that big of a deal, cheap. But this thing, you know, you'd have to buy a whole new set. That's my only con so far. I mean, other than that, I see these lasting a while just due to being them impact rated. I feel the steel on this is pretty strong. The magnets are really good, really strong. But I would see a lot of guys generally toward using this mainly tool on an impact. I hardly see guys doing shit by hand nowadays, which, I mean, it's always good to do stuff first, hand torquing, and then using your drill to get it the rest of the way. Most guys with the impact, they're gonna just blow right through, and either you're gonna strip out your fastener, you're gonna wear this down, and then, or you're gonna just knock out the hole entirely, and then now your fastener is not even gonna secure properly. But I'd highly recommend this, especially for guys in the air conditioning side. I think this is kind of geared towards us more than anything. But I like how Klein's always coming out with new stuff other than just basic stuff for electricians, geared towards more of the electrical side, but definitely giving us HVAC guys good tools as well to help us with our trade. So yeah, definitely recommend getting this. Like I said, only Home Depot has it right now, but I'm sure give it a couple months, you'll probably see this thing at Johnstone, RSD, your local, you know, Supply House, Train, United Air, US Air, whatnot. Because most of the time, them guys, they start to pick up the latest and greatest Klein stuff, whatever is coming out. So, but yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give a little preview what this tool can do, and yeah, pretty cool. All right, see you on the next one.